Critical theory. Antifa do not view their premeditated and preemptive acts of violence as violence. It is part of the strategy of remaking words to have completely new meanings. But it also pulls from a left-wing philosophical tradition established by 20th century German philosopher and socialist Herbert Marcuse. Marcuse is one of the most important philosophers and social theorists to the modern left. His theories and ideas form the ideological pillars for many so-called social justice and Antifa movements today, even without its adherents realizing so. Born in Berlin in 1898, Marcuse was a committed leftist all his life. As a young adult, he studied the writings of Karl Marx and voted for the German Communist Party. In 1933, he joined the Institute for Social Research, a think tank at Frankfurt University. It is more commonly known as the Frankfurt School. With the rise of fascism in Europe, many of the intellectuals at the Frankfurt School escaped to the United States, where they became faculty and influential thinkers. Columbia University in New York City took in a number of Frankfurt academics. One of the Frankfurt School's lasting legacies is the development of critical theory, the Marxist-inspired theory that undergirds all the various studies disciplines in academe today. In short, critical theorists develop ways to criticize perceived structures and systems of oppression in order to bring about radical change. It offers a heuristic for understanding all human interaction through power dynamics between groups. When applied to race, concepts like white privilege, whiteness, and intersectionality purport to explain why there are disparities in outcomes among racial groups. Colloquially, critical theory is sometimes referred to as cultural Marxism, an application of Marxist theory to groups of people based on identity rather than class. Many dogmas of critical theory have become so mainstream in American academe and society that people don't even know the origins of those truth claims. Have you heard it argued that there is no such thing as objective reality and truth? Social justice ideologues use this dogma to deconstruct science, biological sex, for example. That's from critical theory. What about words are violence? Antifa's militants cite this to justify their violent behavior against opposing views. This is also from critical theory. Marcuse became known as the father of the New Left for his ideological influence on left-wing student protest movements in the 1960s and 1970s, particularly through establishing the now far-left foundational belief that tolerance means actively suppressing intolerant, usually right-wing, ideas. In 1965, Marcuse co-authored a book with sociologist Robert Paul Wolff and philosopher Barrington Moore Jr. titled A Critique of Pure Tolerance. Marcuse's essay in the book, Repressive Tolerance, laid the foundation for redefining tolerance to mean militant intolerance toward prevailing policies, attitudes, opinions, and the extension of tolerance to policies, attitudes, and opinions which are outlawed or suppressed. In other words, we should not allow perceived intolerant ideas the space to be expressed and should be more accepting of extreme beliefs on the left. For decades, American academe has been marinating in Marcuse's ideas, spreading it to students who then form the next generation of politicians, leaders, and activists.